Hi everyone, Peter Du Toit, the Betway Beat, brought to you by SoccerBeat. We interviewed Daniel Cardoso, the Sekhukhune United player. Obviously spent a big part of his career with Kaizer Chiefs. This interview we felt was so good because Daniel was so transparent, besides being a hell of a nice guy, one of the nicest guys I've interviewed, so transparent and showed so much respect to you viewers out there that we decided to turn this into two parts. It is such a good interview. It's packed with incredible information that you guys are going to love. Part one, Daniel talks about, he's transparent about the drinking problem that affected his career, at the start of his career, I should say. Why and how he joined Kaizer Chiefs over Orlando Pirates. How he made up with Kaizer Jr., issues they had between each other. And also in this interview, besides many other interesting points, he gives a message that Sipho Mbule should take heed of. So enjoy part one, guys. Daniel, welcome, man. How are you?
Fine and you, Peter? How's it going? That's all. Thank you for having me.
It's all good this side. I'm very excited about having you on the show. I've had a lot of fans been asking me for a long time, please get Daniel on. Please get Daniel on. And I want to tell you guys, I've tried for a few weeks. He's just been very busy. But Daniel, you signed for Free State Stars when you're 24. Am I correct?
Yeah, 23, turning 24, correct.
Bit late to get into the PSL game. But what was it like there? The first, I mean, it's like very different to Joburg. You're a million miles away from Joburg, a small town, Bethlehem.
Very good for my career. Coming from Joburg, obviously just couldn't get the breakthrough that I wanted in Joburg. Went to all the bigger teams, your Wits. I was at Pirates with Yebo, yes. I trained with Swallows. I trained with Highlands. I was at Highlands. So I just couldn't get a break. And obviously me going that side, also I had a bit of a drinking problem back then. I think also that affected me quite a big element in my breaking into that next step and phase of mine. And once coaches hear that you have a drinking problem, it becomes a big issue. And obviously coaches speak, clubs speak. And when I moved down to Free State into Bethlehem, 1 horse town, it was the best move I made. And I think if I didn't actually make that move into Bethlehem, I don't think I'd be where I am today. And it was a good move. I think my dad pushed it quite a bit because he knew I had the talent and potential to make it. But, I had friends that were hang-ons, and every weekend you're partying and playing in the Vodacom League. I mean, it's not a serious league. So I used to go to the games a bit on my ear, not worrying about football. And yeah, I think that was my breakthrough season,
Well, by the way, viewers out there and young footballers out there, I didn't know this. Daniel's been completely open and honest and transparent that you got to change your lifestyle if you want to make it. And equally importantly, even if you don't make it at one club, a second club, a third club, a fourth club, you keep going at it, and at 24 you make it. So by the way, I didn't know this, and big ups to you. Interestingly enough, I thought you did fantastically well at Free State Stars. I thought you could have been actually a holding midfielder. Your passing range, I remember at the club, was very good. And I don't know if you know this, by the way, seeing that you've opened up, I'll open up something to you. I don't know if you know that Orlando Pirates wanted to sign you before Chiefs.
Yeah. It did come up, and I think my agent at the time was Bradley Cornell. He still is my mentor, and he'll always be my mentor. I have a lot of respect for Bradley. Since my dad passed on, he took me under his wing. And at the time, Thabo Kalinga section, he was signed by Pirates, and Chiefs wanted him. So Bradley, obviously working close with Chiefs and being with Chiefs at before he left to Germany, he kind of switched that move over, and I went through to Chiefs instead.
Good, funny because I was talking to the Pirates guys at the time, and they were really keen on you. And I was actually very pleased that you got one of those moves, because both of them big moves. But let's go back to the present. So fantastic. Last weekend you played Chiefs. Did you win the man of the match? Because in my book, you were man of the match. Were you? Did
No,
you win the man
no.
of the match?
Yusuf Mark got the man of the match.
That's right. Sorry, but I thought you were absolutely outstanding, and I'm not trying to buy your
Thank you.
face. And
Thank you.
you know, what did you think of? I mean, 1-1. You guys could have won it at the end, in particular. But what did you think? What did you think of Chiefs? Funny enough, first of all.
Look, Chiefs have a very good team. You know, all these youngsters that are coming through have been unbelievable. You know, I just think that I'm glad that broke the duck now of 10 years. Last weekend in the Nedbank. I actually messaged the Kaizer Jr. and congratulated him. We did have a few words a year or two ago, and not out of disrespect or anything, but I have a lot of love for him and the club, especially his father, for giving me the opportunity to be at such a big club. But I do think they need a little bit more experienced players to come in and just guard them and guard the ship and get the ship steady. But the youth has been phenomenal. I mean, you just saw they won the DDC now too. So
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of those players are going to put up their hands to come in to the first team next season. But like I say, the experience needs to come in and just get mixed a little bit, you know. If you see Sundowns is phenomenal. They're winning year in and year out. Is because they've got a healthy mix there of great experienced players, and they'll bring in the youth slowly, throwing them in 1 or 2 games, 3 games. And I think that's what Sundowns gets right every season, and that's why they're ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. So just going back to Chiefs, I mean, you say you had words with Kaizer Jr. Are you talking about when you left the club or subsequent to that?
Yeah, look, I'm sure everybody knows about that interview I had with Robert Marawa. It went viral for quite a few years. And I think, you know, I've grown now as a person, and I've matured. And back then, people say I was sour. I wasn't sour. It's just, you know, I'm trying to help the club also get to the next step in, you know, winning things and all of that. And I think we've put that behind us. He actually messaged me back, and he said, thank you for the kind words, especially coming from me, you know. And it's a relationship I'd like to keep beyond football. You know, you never know what can happen after football. For myself, I'm definitely going to stay in football. Football's all I know. And I have utmost respect for the Kaizer Matong family. The Matongs are the phenomenal people.
Yeah. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being honest and speaking your mind. That's as long as you've been truthful, and that's how you felt at the time. I remember the interview. I didn't particularly think it was anything bad. You know, we all leave clubs and we all have an opinion on what things are going right and wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're right, but the opinion is allowed. But that's a separate issue. Look, if you look at Sekhukhune though, and compared to a Chiefs, a Pirates, a Sundowns, there's almost no ways that this team should do as well as it does from a resource point of view, from a support-based point of view. Yet, if you look at it, you've been there, 3 seasons now, and you know, last 2 seasons coming fourth. What is the secret behind, you know, why does the team do so well? Is recruitment really good?
Yeah, I think if the year I signed with Sekhukhune, you could see they already started recruiting pretty big signings. Myself and Lyndon Tambo came in there. There was quite a few big signings there, not as big as it has been now in the past season. But I think also the togetherness, you know, the players that do come in there know that we together, if I can say that, you know, like it's one family. It's a smaller team. We don't have big egos, and if we do have big egos that come in the team, we crush them down straight away. You know, I think it's a big major a thing that we've done is that we've crushed the egos down, and we work for one another. And big ups to Sekhukhune. I mean, this is their 4th year in the PSL, and finishing in the top 8 in my first season there was what we wanted. Last season, obviously going up to 4th place, we were fighting for 4th or 3rd. Being in the top 8 for the 2nd season. This season we are gunning for 3rd. It's still not out of our reach. Hoping that Cape Town City and beat Stellenbosch this weekend come in. and we win against Arrows, So we want to finish in the top 3. Our ambition is to go into CAF again and obviously compete this time, This year we were unfortunate. We got knocked out in the preliminary round. But we do want to plan. I mean, Eric has ambition that he wants to compete in the CAF, and hopefully next season we can compete for the league. I think we have a very good side. And I think that if we bring in another 2 or 3 good signings, maybe 4, and it will help us quite a bit. It will make a big difference if we have 2 or 3 players that come in and just solidify everything.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you look at it, you have Siema there as a coach, and he does, if you look from a results point of view, exceptionally well, and he surprisingly leaves the club. From if you're sitting from the outside and looking in, it seems like a surprise. Eric comes in, obviously a top coach as well, and it's seamless. It just basically carries on with the same kind of successful results. Why is it so seamless?
Yeah, look, I don't think we expected Siema to go, especially the circumstances we're in. I mean, we were in the top 4 when he left, and so we were all shocked and surprised when he had left. But it's football, Coaches come, coaches go, players come, players go. And I think just the work rate of the players, we haven't changed much of since Siema has left. We've still been working hard, still been working as a group. And I think that's been our biggest positive, It wasn't easy in the beginning. Obviously, Eric can't come in there and change everything from the start. You go through a pre-season with one coach, and all of a sudden a new coach comes in and he wants to change your playing style. He wants to change, and Eric didn't do that. I think he just picked up from where Siema left, and I think that's why we've been doing so well.
Yeah. I mean, if I look at your players, a lot of experience, and if I looking at you and Manare, for example, I thought Manare strolled this midfield against Kaizer Chiefs. He looked in complete control of the game. He looked like, I mean, he's always been a top player, but I thought to myself, this is the guy who could be playing in the Chiefs needed him in their midfield to kind of change the pace of a game, manage the game. I thought he was superb in that. Yourself included, managing the back 4. I remember ball coming down the Chiefs' left-hand side, you chasing. You're supposed to be an older player, but just seeing it out casually, and the whole team kind of just, giving you a clap and a high five from it, which is the same as what Nottingham Forest say their success is based on this season, that the togetherness of the team and no egos. And I like the fact that you say you crush egos down, because that's a sign of a proper team, and then they either merge with you or they don't. But I look at players like Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, he had a rocky start to his career, discipline problems as well, and I thought he's been superb. How did he? What changed in his personality? What changed? Was it a lifestyle change as well? Because he's always had the ability.
Yeah, look, I think with Kaizer, I'm glad that he got given a second chance. Not a lot of players do get given a second chance, and he grabbed it with both hands. His lifestyle's changed completely. Us as seniors have helped him out quite a bit. I think he's taken quite a bit of advice, and I'm happy to see that, and I think that's why he's thriving. Definitely a player for contender this season. I mean, he's been outstanding, coming from the NFD and putting the burners on after burners, game in, game out, assisting, scoring. He's been a big success for us this season. In terms of the goals, he's contributed a hell of a lot of goals and a hell of a lot of assists, and I think he can only grow from here. I do think that he does need another season at a team like Sekhukhune, and I hope they hold on to him because I think he has a lot to give, and maybe next year take a step into one of the bigger teams again. I know he was at Sundowns before, and he done fairly well, but he just couldn't get that break, He was still quite young, and now he's matured quite a bit, and I hope that he does stay another season and gives it his all once again to show that he's really worthy of making that big step again.
I think he could start getting himself into Bafana contention if he keeps developing. I mean, it's also good to see Linda Matamba also. These are experienced players, him and Manara and yourself, who people think, oh, well, you're at the end of your careers and it's a slow journey downward. I mean, it's a great example. He's another superb player, and a player who's maybe going to take that same route. When I saw him in Black Leopards, I thought was an exceptionally gifted player on the ball, Lesedi Kapinga, and obviously then struggled at Sundowns, struggled at Pirates. How's he fitting in there? Because I think he could bring something extra if he gets different other parts of his game right as well, the defending and tracking back and so on. But nice to see him come on against Chiefs. How's he been?
No, Lesedi's been great. He's a great character too. He's a hard worker. And obviously, we've got quite a few number 10s in our team. As you've seen over the weeks, our number 10s chop and change quite a bit. And I think that once he gets a chance to start, it will be a different story. It's the same with Lyndon Tambo. I think he drives our change room, And Linda has been phenomenal and great. I think Linda, he's the spirit in our team, and I think he's done so well that he's brought us together. When the moods are down and when everything is going wrong, he's the one that picks us up, and I give him a lot of respect for that. Unfortunately, he has had a few injuries that have set him back, and I think if those injuries haven't vaunted him quite a bit, he would have taken another step in. But I mean, every time he's come back from an injury, he's been phenomenal. He got when he came back from his last injury, he came on as a super sub in I don't know how many games, and he saved us quite a few times.
Yeah, it's a fantastic play. I think Minori and Matambo, those two of them are players, and yourself have not got the national credit that they should have got, because these are pros is the way I look at it. I can't. By the way, also Letlapa has done quite well. I think he's progressed a lot this season.
Yes, I think he's just an extremely good left back. He goes up and down, and I think the club are going to battle to hold on to him. In all honesty, I'm sure offers are going to be flying in the season for him. Coming from Jono Cosmos, he's an unbelievable player, and I do really hope that a team overseas and in Europe has been watching him, because I think for him to grow and to get proper recognition, I think he needs to go into Europe, and he'll fit in there. He's got the heart, he's got the strength, he's got he's got everything for him,
and he's got the engine.
Definitely,
and,
definitely.
You got the desire to get up there, because you still got to get back. So
and he has it.
I can't leave talking about your player, especially you spoke about crushing players and making certain that the dressing room is right. And you yourself have been through a transition from lack of discipline to discipline, and talking about Caletso as well. Sipho Mbule, I mean, when I first saw him come on the scene at SuperSport, I said, okay, there's the Bafana. He's going to get 100 caps. He always looks a bit unfit to me when he plays, as a matter of interest. Looks like he carries too much weight. It's going to be sad to see him. He's 26. If he doesn't see the light soon, why couldn't he get it right at Sekhukhune?
Yeah, Sipho, it's such a sad one. I think he's one of the best players in SA. He's so talented. He's talented. It's natural talent, when he's on the ball, you can see the flair. You saw it at Sundowns. You saw it at SuperSport when he started with us in the beginning of the season. Unbelievable, and it's quite sad to see. We've chatted to him so many times, and as you saw again now recently, another story unfolded, and he's been let go by us, and I'm not sure where he's gone. I think he's gone back to Sundowns. And like you said now, he should be in that national team every time there's a call-up. And he's such a great character, but the disciplinary issues do affect him. At 26, look, we all go through that phase, and sometimes it's just too late to realize, which I hope really doesn't happen to him. I hope that this has woken him up a bit, because I know Sundowns wanted him back when he went through that good stint with us. to go through to the Club World Cup. And I don't think that will happen now, especially with all the negativity going around him. So I do hope that if he ever gets to see this, or if he ever gets to watch it, I do hope that he comes out what he's going through, and he changes his lifestyle, because he's another player that should be playing in Europe. He has all the talent in the world to be wherever he wants to be in the world. And Sipho, I hope that you do turn your career around, brother.
Well, Sipho, I know they do watch the shows, and players do send clips, and this this goes all over social media as well. I mean, he came out the same time as Mokoena, and you just have to compare CVs. Mokoena should have been overseas as well. Got all the ability. Ernst Mittendorf said to me, could walk into the Bundesliga, and that's big praise indeed. And I thought the two of them would definitely be playing in Europe by the time they were 24, 25. And I thought Mbule had a better chance, because he's even better on the ball and even more creative in a different set. Bring something different to Mokoena. But sadly not. Let's jump. But I hope he listens to it, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to do an interview with him in 5 years' time talking about what could have been. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Daniel Cardoso. That was part one. Guys, you've got to watch part two. Please share part one. And I promise you, you're going to enjoy part two. Part two, Daniel talks about, really it's about his time at Kaizer Chiefs, and how and why he believes the club started the slow decline to get to where they currently are, and obviously the trophy that they've won right now. It's really, really Daniel Cardoso speaking from his heart about a team that he obviously loved playing for. Watch part two.